Whether we wanted it or not, we've stepped into a war with a cabal on Mars. So let's get to taking out their command one by one. Valis Arik. From what I can gather, he commands the siege dancers from an Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon. He's well protected. But with the right team, we can punch through those defenses, take this beast out, and break their grip on Freehold.
September 9th, 2014. A game releases that changed my world forever. That game was Destiny. Now I know I've never really made content about Destiny on this channel. I barely streamed it consistently when I was streaming all the time. But even without making content on it, Destiny became a huge part of my life. Not just because of the gameplay, but because of the people, the memories, and the adventures that came with it. Now I was there from the beginning, the beta, before any of us really knew what Destiny really was. Now of course, I didn't know anything about Destiny going in. I went in kind of blind, so I'm sure like these super Bungie fans that like followed everything they were doing at the time maybe knew more about what Destiny was going to be, but I really thought it was just going to be like a first-person Halo-esque shooter with magic. My fondest memories will always be from the first game. There was just something magical about it. Everything felt unknown, the atmosphere Bungie created felt more mysterious, lonely, almost haunting at times. The world felt alive, like there were secrets hiding everywhere, just waiting to be discovered. As lonely as the world felt sometimes, it still brought people together. Some of the friendships I still have today started because of Destiny. Late nights grinding strikes, sitting in orbit talking for hours, helping each other through raids we barely understood, meeting random people through LFG, but slowly stopped feeling like strangers. Back then, it felt like everyone was discovering the game together. Every planet felt massive, every enemy felt important, every exotic felt exotic. I still remember beating the original campaign and immediately spending an unhealthy amount of time at the loot cave. Hours. Literal hours. Probably days, to be honest with you. Just farming engrams with friends, laughing at absolutely nothing, thinking, once I get a full legendary set, that's it. I made it. Beat Destiny. Not realizing that there was an entirely different tier of loot that was almost unknown to most people. Back before raids were figured out, before guides existed for everything, before every secret was solved in 5 minutes on YouTube. And I'll never forget my very first raid, the Vault of Glass. Going in feeling terrified because none of us really understood what we were about to walk into, using LFG to fill in the people we didn't have. And somehow, those random people became memories I still think about over a decade later. That's what made the original Destiny special. It wasn't just a game, it was a community. Like all of us were discovering something together for the very first time. The rewards from the raids actually felt unique and worth grinding for. Seeing a Guardian with a full set of gear early on was genuinely impressive, something Destiny 2 never really captured for me. Every exotic felt unique and powerful on its own. Sure, there were a few duds, but every piece felt like I was collecting something important that could help in some future raid or activity. I mean, do you remember grinding for Galahorn? Spending hours and hours farming exotics, just hoping that maybe this would finally be the drop? Or were you one of the lucky people that got it week 1? Or maybe you were like so many others and had to wait until the second Xur cell right before Bungie nerfed it. I'll never forget the exact moment I got mine. Right after the Templar encounter, the exotic chest. I remember losing my mind. I remember giving this huge speech to my friends in party chat, only to realize my mic was been muted the whole time. And somehow, that moment still sticks with me after all these years. That was the magic of Destiny. Not just the loot, not just the gameplay, the people, the memories. The feeling that every night online could turn into a story that you'd be talking about 10 years later. And honestly, I don't know if we'll ever get another experience quite like it again. But over time, the cracks started to show in Destiny 2. The mechanics were better, the graphics were cleaner. Functionally, it was the better game in almost every way. Even the Vanguard felt more alive this time around. Characters actually had personalities, they talked more, interacted more, and felt like real people instead of vague NPCs standing in the tower. But underneath all that polish, something changed. The mystery disappeared. The original Destiny felt like stepping into the unknown. Nobody knew the best builds, nobody knew raid mechanics, nobody knew what secrets were hiding in the world. Destiny 2, everything slowly became optimized. Build videos, meta loadouts, the world itself felt less like a character. Some of the coolest armor sets stopped being rewards for difficult content, became cosmetics locked behind microtransactions. I mean, Just look at the silver shop, and you can't tell me that half the armor in there should have been raid gear, or some kind of nightfall reward, or something, some kind of completion task. Exotics stopped feeling rare. Back in Destiny 1, seeing a yellow engram hit the ground felt unreal. In Destiny 2, too many exotics became quests. While I understand why people like that change, for me, it killed the excitement of the chase. I stopped caring about grinding activities unless there was a specific, exclusive drop attached to it. Even raids changed. Instead of full experiences, people started farming individual encounters for loot tables. Journey became less important, over efficiency on how to get loot. And unfortunately, the community changed with it. Groups started requiring raid guides before you could even join. People became less patient, less willing to experiment, less willing to fail together and figure things out. Raids stopped feeling like an expedition and started feeling like a job. Maybe that was just part of me getting older. Maybe life got busier and I missed the era of going into everything blind with friends until 3 a.m. in the morning. But regardless, it never felt the same again. That said, I still think Destiny 2 delivered some incredible moments. The death of Cade 6 was one of the most emotional moments in the franchise. Not because it felt good, but because it genuinely hurt. We'd spent years with that character. For the first time, Destiny proved that it could make players feel real loss. And eventually, we reached the Witness, the villain behind the entire saga. And in my opinion, the ending should have been as gripping as Cade's death. Now I'm sure the loss of Lance Riddick impacted things in ways we'll never fully understand. Part of me wishes Commander Zavala's story had ended it with the main saga too. Not necessarily through death, even just peace, retirement, closure. Now I don't personally have a problem with them using another voice actor to complete the story, but to not retire the character whenever they continue to kind of just create random characters seemed pretty disrespectful to me. Recently, me and a few friends tried to go back to Destiny again. Didn't last long. And I can't speak for how they felt, but for me, the game just felt disconnected from what it used to be. The inclusion of Star Wars content completely pulled me out of the experience. I know Destiny is already a space fantasy. Seeing a literal lightsaber duel happen in a cutscene while we're throwing around Destiny lore magic just felt off to me. And trying to launch a dungeon through the portal system only to realize that the content had been gutted and it was just a checkpoint simulator, sunsetting, what they said they would never do again. It was honestly depressing. I understand why the player count dropped. It sounds like with the June update, they're trying to course correct, but from the outside looking in, it feels like a little too late. Still, I don't think this is the actual end of Destiny. At least I hope it isn't. Sony invested far too much money into this to let it disappear completely because of Bungie's mistakes. And maybe the struggles surrounding Marathon eventually pushed Bungie back towards what made Destiny special in the first place. People have started a change.org, I'll put it in my comment section below, to hopefully get a Destiny 3. Of course, just because we all signed something doesn't mean the big corporation's going to follow through just because we want it. But if this is the end, no matter how frustrated I became with Destiny as a franchise, I can't say that I hate this franchise, because Destiny gave me memories I'll probably carry for the rest of my life. Most importantly, people. Somewhere along the way, the friends I made through Destiny stopped feeling like online friends and started feeling like brothers. So now I want to hear your stories. What was your favorite Destiny memory? Your first raid? Your first exotic? The people you met along the way? Do you still talk to your old fire team from Destiny? Or maybe you completely disagree with me and think Destiny surpassed the original in every way. Either way, I genuinely want to hear it. So let me know down in the comments. And if this video brought back some memories for you, maybe consider leaving a like and subscribing, because I'd really love to keep making videos like this. And to everyone who was there back in 2014, and to the devs that worked tirelessly to make a world that was worth playing, thank you for being part of something that was special.